Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to show you guys how we prep for acrylic powder nail application. And this is pretty much how we set up as far as our nail clients go. Now we're going to go ahead and use the natural nail tips. I love these tips because they're so easy to use. They are nice and perfect. Now using our magic wand, that's the first step. We're going to go ahead and push back their cuticles at an angle, carefully pushing them back. Now removing any dead skin around the natural nail using our sanding band and at a very low speed. Going around the cuticle, then just carefully around the whole nail. This prevents any lifting and making sure that your nail would adhere to your acrylic powder. Now go ahead and measure your nails. You can use 2 at the same time of the same ones if the nails are usually the same. Typically they are, but if you prefer to measure 1 by 1, that's totally optional. It's preference. I like to pretty much do 2, and then if anything were to change, just switch it out. If for any reason the nails don't fit from sidewall to sidewall, you can grab a file and file the sides of the nail tip. Now we're going to go ahead and apply our glue onto the nail tip well, and make sure that you grab it like I did right now and then press on it, making sure there's no air bubbles, holding it for about 5 seconds until dry, and then just release. Now, before going in with our nail tip cutter, we're going to go ahead and etch the nail with the same fine sanding band, just carefully, quickly doing so, just so that the whole nail is perfectly etched and better adherence on the acrylic nail. This is just personal preference. You don't have to do it, but I personally prefer to do it. When we are cutting our natural nail tips, we are not natural, oh yes, natural nails, but not the natural nail. We are holding the tip that is going to be coming off so that way it won't be all over the place. And the way I'm measuring them is by the cuticle area. Now with any alcohol cleanser, go ahead and wipe down. Do not wipe up because you're going to go ahead and put any debris onto the natural nail cuticle area. Using our beautiful, gorgeous color. This is like a beautiful like aqua color. It is Teal Me number 47 and also number 14 100% Kolinsky brush that will be on sale as soon as we announce it. Stay tuned. We are going to go ahead and launch it soon, so stay tuned for that. This brush is perfect. It's like in between a 14 and a 16. If you don't want it too big, this is a perfect one. I always go between 14 and 16. It's definitely your preference. For this nail on the ring finger, we're going to do a clear, natural, nude, glittery nail in gel. So that's why I'm doing a clear base. For the pinky and the other nails, we did add a little bit of a protectant layer of clear acrylic before adding our acrylic powder. Reason being, this prevents any stains. This actually helps with any lifting. And you just want to make sure that there's a protecting layer before you add in anything on top, so that way when you file, you have something left over as well and you don't go directly to the natural nail, because this is acrylic powder being used. Now we're going to go ahead and apply the thin layer, and like I said, it's a paper thin layer, very carefully, and this is obviously after the fact of you prepping the nail, dehydrating and priming the nail. And then very lightly just do it on all the nails first, and then go back with your color acrylic, in this case number 47. And as you can see how I'm using and pushing the brush towards the cuticle area very, very carefully. Of course, this is sped up. This is not normal time, but even then, just be very careful. Now using the belly of my brush to shape the nail and make sure that there's no lumps or humps, and just perfecting the nail. We're going to go ahead and leave this as is, so make sure there's a good amount of acrylic powder onto this. Let's make sure we don't do a thin layer, because when you do file it, it's going to come off. And our acrylic powders are so smooth and buttery, guys. They are so easy to work with. I love them. We love them, and they are so great when it comes to filing off as well. They are not hard. They're perfect. You can also encapsulate this if you wanted to. Personal preference. We're going to go ahead and just pretty much file them after the fact, but Like I said, it's totally up to you. Now, when you're using a bead, one bead method or like a two bead method, make sure that you're draining the excess liquid before you apply your bead onto the nail, and also cleaning your brush in between, like I'm seeing here. We're cleaning my brush in between every little pickup, and also just making sure that your brush is clean will make your brush last longer. If for any reason you do get acrylic powder onto your brush, don't worry. Just apply it, some monomer into a little dapping dish, and then just let it soak for a little bit, and then just let the acrylic dissolve. Don't throw your brush away. That is not okay. There's a solution to your problem. Now, like I said right there, we're just adding a couple of little acrylic beads here and there, depending on the amount and the thickness and the look of the nail. Like I said, I'm always looking at every angle, profile, and stuff like that. So just so it can be perfect. Now, using our 80-100 grit file, which is one of our newest grits and also amazing files. You are gonna love these files. I just took off my thumb right there just so I can make sure I'm protecting my client and also touching her surface to make sure I'm not creating any heat. This is just a little trick of mine that I love to do. Before using these files, though, I do recommend you guys to season them, which is taking off the rough edges of every corner, because you do not want to cut your client whatsoever. These files will last you a long time. One use is okay, obviously, for clients. You can have them take them home if they would love to, but if not, just toss them away. If you wanted to keep these for yourself, just make sure you put them in a container that says practice files and solely use them on yourself, not on any other client. Reason being, they are good files. They do last more than one use, and this is only for your use in this instance. Now we're going to go ahead and use our carbide fine bit and removing any imperfections. Just pretty much perfect the nail surface. And there's not much, if you guys can tell, to file. It already looks great and smooth. I'm just perfecting it and making sure everything is like smooth, touching the surface to make sure it's a perfect thickness. There's no lumps, humps, and if you need to file underneath the nail, please do so. You do not want anything underneath the nail, because then that's going to create your client to just pick at them, and you do not want that. To finish it off, this is pretty much a finishing touch. You can either use your file, a 180-100 or plus file to do this process, or you could make it easier for yourself and use a fine sanding band and do like I'm showing you here. Quickly go around the whole nail, carefully of course, touching the surface and just etching, making sure there's no any imperfections. Using our newest addition as well, our mini buffers. They are awesome. Buffing the surface very quickly, gently, and also the underneath portion of the nail. I always do this when it comes to the clear ones, because I'm at gel, I don't, but I do the bottom. Now, having her wash her hands, I'm going to go ahead and still clean her nail surface regardless of the fact with our lint-free nail wipes and cleanser of your choice. Now we're going to go ahead and apply pretty much just top coat, but beforehand we're going to finish off our ring finger with our number 121, which is our new formula gel polish glitter. And I did add a clear, like nudish base just for some kind of foundation, so it won't be super see-through, and it's just super cute and simple. Very thin coats, guys. Like I said, try and be very careful when it comes to adding gel. Our newest formulas are easy to work with. They are amazing, and just cure them in between coats for 30 seconds. And after this, I did go ahead and add our top coat, which is a no wipe top coat. Very, very simple, easy design, guys. So nice. I am in love with the color. It's even much better in person. Like I said, make sure you apply this top coat very nicely, and you will be able to tell when there's any lint or any dust onto the nail. Make sure you remove that and apply it to where it's perfect. Now, after this, we cure it for 60 seconds and you are set. This is so easy and beautiful. And last but not least, the finishing touch of all. We're going to be using our newest cuticle oil, which is lavender and rose scented. This is a must when it comes to any daily ritual. Oiling your cuticles is really, really encouraged and also makes your nails look pretty and also perfect for the picture as well. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in our next video. Goodbye.